Hello friends, as many of you know, I get a lot of emails. Imabel also gets a lot of emails, and she got one, and this is a very common question, but could you tell us about this question from a viewer? He views both my channel, I think he's been viewing my channel for years, and he's also been watching your channel, so he wanted to know your opinion on something, but what's up?
Sure. I usually get questions like this, and the recent one was just a few days ago. There's this American who lives in America, of course, and he told me that he has been talking to a girl in the Philippines online, and eventually this girl asked him for money. And by the way, the guy is in his 50s, the girl is in her 20s, and now the guy asked me...
So there's almost a 30-year age difference?
That's correct. And then the guy emailed me asking what I think about this, that the girl is asking money from him. And he told me that the girl told him that she loves him. But then he asked me if he's doubting actually that the girl really loves him because they haven't seen each other yet. This guy, by the way, is planning to visit the Philippines.
And has he been to the Philippines before?
The guy hasn't been to the Philippines yet.
And he's gonna come. So that's cool. Now he asked your opinion on this, but this is my channel. I get this question all the time myself, and I'll give my opinion, and hopefully it helps you guys out. But just to recap, so there's a girl in her 20s, he's in his 50s, there's almost a 30-year age difference. They've been talking online, he's never visited the Philippines yet, and she's telling him, even though they've never met, she's saying, I love you, and sweet talking him, but now she's asking for money. And what do we think? Well, first of all, should he give her money? Well, my answer on this might actually surprise you guys. And here's the thing. I know you guys out there, most of you guys are going, oh, she's playing him, she's manipulating him. And you guys that are saying that right now, you would be right. However, keep this in mind, she is giving him something in return, so maybe giving her a small amount of money isn't that big of a deal, because here's what he's getting out of it. He's getting companionship, even if it's just digital, virtual companionship. It's making him happy, it's making him feel good. She's stroking his ego, even though I would say there's probably at least a 90% chance that she's manipulating him, playing him. But if you were to give her a small amount of money, that's okay. However, I think you got to understand your own psychology and understand why you're actually giving this person money. And that's because you're giving her money because it's kind of like a massage therapist that comes over and gives you a massage. They're making you feel good, so of course you're going to give them money. And I believe that if someone's giving you what you want, well, you should give them what they want. But understand, you're paying for her making you feel good online. And you shouldn't put any expectations on her to actually love you, because I'll tell you this, if you don't send the money, I think you're going to find out pretty quick that she doesn't actually love you. So it's okay to send a little bit of money. It's your money, man. You can do whatever you want with it. However, you got to understand your own thinking and your reasoning for doing something like this. And I was actually just listening on YouTube to Brian Tracy. And if you don't know who Brian Tracy is, he's a speaker, he's a businessman, and he actually trains salespeople. And I was listening to one of his courses educating people on sales, and he said people have a logical way of thinking about things, and they have an emotional way of thinking about things. And he said, when you want to sell to people, you want to appeal to their emotional side. People buy based on how they feel. And that's exactly what's happening with this guy. He's getting these feelings of love, and that's what's going to make him part with his money. But you got to understand, that's what's actually going on. And if it's kind of like the old in the 90s, the old phone sex hotlines where guys would call up to girls and they'd pay by the minute to talk dirty to someone. I don't know if this particular couple's talking dirty, but even if they're not, it's very similar. You're getting a service like that. It's almost like prostitution, but without actual sex. And it's good. I know if there's maybe some some girls listening to this, maybe they're thinking, hey, this is a pretty good business. Just talk to guys online and get them to send money. And I know there's a lot of girls out there doing that. There's many in the Philippines that would never do something like that, but there's definitely a lot of girls doing that kind of thing. And you know what? He's actually, my first reaction when I heard this is, he's been watching my channel for years and he's been getting a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of entertainment. And I have a crowdfunding campaign with Patreon. Why doesn't he, well, if he wants to send money around, why doesn't he send some my way? Because here's the thing, whether you give money to me or you give money to her, especially since he's in America, let's say he sends this girl $50. If you're in the United States, what's that to you? I mean, you can get that money back like that. It's not going to make or break you. So I say, it's okay to send money, but understand she is most likely lying to you. She's manipulating you. But on the other hand, she is making you feel good, and maybe that's probably all you really want anyways. And by all means, support our channel if you want to send money around, because I know you've been watching us for a long time. You've been gaining a lot of valuable information. So check us out on Patreon. And Imabel?
And become a part of our Patreon family. Exactly.
What do you have to say about all this?
Well, I have many things to share with you guys, but I guess I will try to talk about them on my channel. But while you were talking about it, one thing that came to mind is this. If you were asked, if you're the guy or a woman, whatever, and you were asked by whoever you're talking to online, money, well, what is it? Are you looking or investing for a long-term relationship or just short-term?
What kind of return on this, and if he does send her money, what kind of return on investment are you expecting? Or is it just because you understand that, well, she makes me feel good, so what the heck?
Well, if you want something temporary, I guess, why not you give money? But I'm not saying that it will not work out well. Of course, helping others is a very good thing, but I guess just don't expect too much. And then in the long run, you would know what really the real, what the real deal is, right? Because when I got this email, I told him that as Filipina, that is something that I'm not in favor of. Like, I don't really encourage that kind of behavior, but it's their decision, it's their choice. Exactly. So who am I to tell them what to do? And who knows, the girl really needs some help, so why not help her? But you have to be ready on with the consequence. If she really likes you and loves you for real, then that's good.
Yeah, and it's exactly like you said. Don't have expectations on this, and it's your money. You can do absolutely whatever you want to do with it. I just want you to understand why you're doing what you're doing. You're spending it for these certain reasons. And I know so many people think that my channel is about the Philippines. Even though we give a lot of great information and show a lot of good things in the Philippines, this channel is not about the Philippines. If anything, this channel is more about psychology. And I think that if you look at things in my videos on a deeper level, you'll realize that I'm not just talking about life in the Philippines. I want to give you guys information that can benefit you wherever you are in the world, regardless of whatever it is you do. I want to give you guys that help. And it's funny, my minor was actually psychology in college. And when I was graduating, one of my film teachers, because I was a film major, she said to me, "So are you planning on making very psychological films?" And I said, "No, not really, but it's actually what I've evolved into." So keep that in mind. I know a lot of you guys have this question, and actually I have another video where I talk about our Filipino girls users, and in that video we talk about some different stuff. But also make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Check us out on Patreon, and we got lots more good stuff coming for you. And anything else?
Another point that I told the guy is this: Filipinas are really nice, and that is something I hear not only from my fellow Filipinos, but people around the world. But just like other women in the world, there are not so nice Filipinas and there are very nice Filipinas. So, you know.
And here's the bottom line. If you're asking this type of question, well, you already know what the answer is, don't you? So see you guys.